Tim, great to have you here. Welcome in Offenbach. How was your day on the Impact Festival?
Well, super busy. Lots of great startups here. I even missed the first interview slot because I've been talking to so many awesome startups. I love it here. It's a great conference.
I think it's a brilliant reason to have a new schedule. So that's fine. Everything's okay. First of all, when it comes to investing, you're quite an old hand. So tell me, when is impact companies? When you take them into focus?
So generally, I look at impact companies in the very same way I also look at general companies. They have to have a great team, they have to have a great business plan, they have to solve a real problem, and the problem can just not just be to make the world a little better, because that's too abstract. They need to solve a real problem for the customer, and they also should solve it in a way that they solve it better than other problems. Meaning, for example, if you want to reduce CO2 emissions, you also want to have an economic impact, because just the impact is very often not good enough.
Purpose is not enough.
Yeah, purpose is important and is more and more important, but you should not make the mistake that you think that just by having a bit of purpose you will kind of go outside this bubble. This here is a bubble in a positive sense. It's a forward-thinking bubble of the people who think about the future, but in order to go mainstream, you need to have more than just impact.
Exactly. You started as an internet investor, so your focus first was on tech, on the internet. Why do you change your focus?
Yeah, indeed, my focus has always been software. Started domain companies, Cedo, and Adblocker, Adblock Plus. But I've always been very interested in green topics. Grew up in Freiburg, Germany, which is dubbed by many as the eco-capital of Germany. Been very active as an eco-activist in my early years, but then opted for the business side. But over the years, I've kind of merged the two things, my software brain and my green heart, and combined those topics and started to do a lot of things at the intersection of software and climate. So, for example, Ecosia, I joined very early on and helped scale for many, many years. Now also within the World Fund, our climate VC, I'm looking after the software topics. So I'm still kind of close to software, but definitely more with a bigger purpose.
Congratulations. You recently raised 300 million euros of capital, and you had a great success in the environment because you were able to win KfW Capital. So tell me, what's your secret? Because the market, the other VC companies have a little bit more problems to get the money, but you don't. Why?
Well, to be frank, it's still hard. So when we started fundraising about 2 years ago, the environment was a very different one. It was much easier. I would lie if I would say that the last year was easy. We had to fight 10 times as hard compared to the year before. But I think we're also doing some things right. I think we have a very fantastic investor base, an LP base, of like the best tech entrepreneurs, the best climate tech entrepreneurs, a lot of the German Mittelstand. So we have more than just money in our LP base. We actually have a really, really strong network. We've got some fantastic advisors. Our portfolio is getting stronger. We had after about a year of due diligence, we had the European Investment Fund on board with a 50 million ticket alone, and that was the biggest ticket they ever did in both the first time and the climate fund, and that of course was a good signal to the market. But just like with anything, I think it's not this one thing, it's a lot of hard work and a lot of things where we try to just do the right things to then also win investors.
Just a little deep dive, but are you able to give a little prediction how the market will turn in the next few months or years? Will we have a comeback? Will there be more money from the VC side again? What do you expect?
Yes, so generally I think that the VC market will rebound. I think in climate we've never seen a complete slump, because if you think about the dominating topics of 2022, so of last year, it was certainly with the war on Ukraine, it was also the topic of energy security and energy independence of Europe. And that topic is perfectly aligned with climate. And so it pays into the same thing. So whether you install solar, whether you move from a stupid fossil fuel energy production into a smart, intelligent, decentralized grid, that's essentially almost the same thing. And so the macro trend for climate has been strong. Also, there has been no decrease in funding for climate-related startups this year and last year. And so I think this macro trend, at least when it comes to climate, will continue.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your answers. Thank you so much for your time. And still have a great time here in Offenbach.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.